What we have here on the table is my Mossberg 500 shotgun. This was the first shotgun I bought myself. It's pretty much a plain Jane gun, synthetic stocks. Shoot 2 3/4 or 3-inch shells. 30-inch barrel. And it's got screw-in chokes. But that really hadn't mattered in a long time, since the only choke that I've had in it for the last 15, 18 years was the full choke. In light of our hippies being on the warpath, and I want to explain some things where you can understand them. I turned 18 January 19th of 1995. I was a senior at Stanton College Preparatory School in Jacksonville. I was also working part-time at Jimmy's Buttermilk Chicken on Normandy and cutting grass. Around the first part of February, I decided I wanted a shotgun for the upcoming turkey season. I went and bought this shotgun. Came with a modified choke in it, which I really didn't like. I was used to shooting a full. Pretty much, the old Brownings and all that I'd kind of cut my teeth on. Some other guns were all full choke. I wasn't handicapped by having the full. Prefer it. Shoots a denser pattern. I went, picked out the gun, told the man what I wanted as far as a choke tube. He was happy at a fee to provide me with another one. And for the additional cost, I bought a box of 3-inch Magnum turkey loads. Filled out the paperwork. Background came back clear. Walked out the store with the gun. Put it in my truck. Came back to the house. Now, the store I went to was Curry Thomas Hardware on Beach and Atlantic Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida. And great guys in there. If you get a chance, go by and see Mr. Steve and Mr. Vince. They're getting a little older, but they're still there and they do great work. Their gunsmithing's second to none. And they've always took care of me. I've done a lot of business with them over the years. And usually whenever I get back to Jacksonville, time permitting, I make it a point to go by and see them. If for nothing else, to visit. And look at what they got in the shop and look at what they're working on. They're getting old. They're probably in their 80s now. Still very cool dudes. And you can learn a lot from them. Sometime in February, me and my dad made a trip over here to the camp. And I brought my new shotgun with me, along with some bird shot that I'd bought. Patterned the gun, see how it was going to shoot. First thing that I ever shot with it was a sporting clay throwed in the air. Clay pigeon. For those that don't know, those are little round orange discs you throw through the air and you shoot with a shotgun. I hit the first one and many after that with this gun. Hunted with it during that turkey season and many seasons after that. It's a pump gun, synthetic stocks, so it's fairly weather resistant. So when I think things are going to get nasty and I'm going to be in for some bad weather, a lot of times this old gun's what I choose to take with me. I've also taken it apart, cleaned it so many times that even if it gets nasty and gummed up and mudded up, all kinds of other stuff, I can take it apart, clean everything out, and get it back together almost without having to think about it. Why is this important today? Other than some old story that probably should be told around a campfire. At the age of 16 now, you can legally drive an automobile, unsupervised. At the age of 18, you can register and vote, which is one of our most sacred responsibilities, being Americans. At 18, you can also raise your right hand of your own free will and join the United States military. And now we have our liberal wingnuts that are saying at age 18, I am not responsible enough to own a shotgun. From age 18 to age 40, now 41. I have never had the inclination to go into a public school and shoot the place up. I have never had the inclination to go into a church house and shoot the place up. Why is this? Because way prior to the law saying that I was old enough to own a firearm, I had parents and grandparents, and uncles, and other family members, and close friends of the family that taught me some things like ethics, moral responsibility, and treating other people as well as you could. I was also taught firearm safety from an early age. It's hard for me to fathom, in a lot of ways, a young man growing up without a .22 rifle. It's hard for me to fathom somebody that would rather play video games than go fishing. Our liberal hippie wingnuts say, well, we don't want your sporting guns, we just want the military semi-automatic guns, and you have no clue what the difference is. Then you have some of them that are dumb enough to tell me to get an education. I probably have an education most of y'all would kill for. In addition to me graduating from Stanton, I've got some other interesting credentials. People say, well, it's a shotgun. It can't really do anything other than be a sporting gun. It can do whatever I want it to do. Then they want to make the argument, well, England and Australia have gun bans. Well, let me explain this. I am not an Englishman. I am not a subject of the Queen. I am a free American. We quick kicked the English out of here twice. The Revolutionary War and the War of 1812. And had to go bail them out a minimum of twice during 2 world wars. I don't think I want to be an Englishman. I'd rather be a free American. It's always better to be the one doing the bailing out than it is having to be bailed out. People say, well, you know, it's a shotgun. It can't do what a military rifle can do. Let me explain something. This right here is a load of 3-inch Magnum buckshot. Inside this red case are 12 .32 caliber pellets that weigh about 60 grains each. They're encapsulated in a plastic wad. Underneath that's your powder. And at the end of it, there, that little round thing, is a primer. The firing pin strikes the primer, which has a mercuric fulminate compound in it, which causes the powder to burn, builds pressure, sends the shot on its way out the barrel. They said, well, that's not a fighting shotgun. It carries 6 rounds. If I put the 18.5-inch barrel on it, then you'd say, well, that's a fighting shotgun. The difference is 12 inches of barrel. That's how you define a fighting shotgun and a field gun. For you James Bond fans out there, these .32 caliber pellets in here, there's 12 of them. Walther PPK .32 automatic pistol carries a total of 8 rounds, 7 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. Fires a .32 caliber, 60 grain bullet usually. Sometimes they're 71. This has got more pellets coming out the end of it than a full magazine. And at a higher velocity. Gun carries 6 of them. Yeah, we give up something, and what are you coming for next? Well, you ought to be able to have that shotgun limited to 3 rounds. I will have a plug put in it if I decide I'm going to hunt migratory birds with it. And they said, well, the English make them crimp it where it's permanent. Again, I'm not English. Get on a slippery slope. They say, well, we just want these. Then they'll come back and they'll say, Well, we want to raise the age on this, and we want to do that. They're not going to be happy till they have all of our guns. Then guess what happens? The rest of our rights fall. The rights that we have are rights that men have bled and died for. That started in the Revolutionary War, and every time we've gone to war since. It's very interesting. They want us to give up something, but I'm under no obligation to give up anything. So because of that, every time we take a step toward losing our freedom, we have nothing to gain. Liberals have nothing to lose. Any victory they get, whether if it's on regulating bump stocks, raising the age to purchase a firearm from a dealer, limiting magazine capacity, we give up our freedom. And we get nothing in return. People say, well, it'll make the world safer. How?